Hello and welcome to Neighborhood Update. Today will be having a conversation about the Council on Agents, which can be found in different parts of the city. The Council on Agents do a wonderful job adapting and adjusting to the needs of our adult senior population. And one of the challenges that they have is to continue to adapt to those changing needs of the population. With me today is the director of the New Bedford Council on Aging, Pamela Amaral Lima. Pam, welcome to Neighborhood Update.
Thank you, Marci, for having me.
We've talked about this for quite some time, so I'm glad that you were able to fit this in your schedule. In my opening, I talked about the challenge of adapting to the changing needs of the senior population. And we know that within recent years, there was a change with some of the senior centers to adult daycare centers. And I think since that change, there's been yet another change with some of the centers. So let us know what centers presently are senior centers and which ones are daycare centers.
Sure. So since becoming director last year, one of the things I prioritized and wanted to implement was sort of reverting the COA landscape to how it was. Fortunately enough, we were able to do so because we had enough van drivers to assist with social day transportation. So the previous model that we implemented, we were able to propose again, and it was approved. So currently, the Buttonwood Senior Center is being utilized as the solo senior center for older adults. Okay. So when I say senior center, if you want to come in for chair yoga or Zumba or for bingo or senior supper, you come in, you check in, and then you can leave if you don't want to stay for the upcoming events for that day. And then the Brooklawn Community Center and the Rosemary S. Tierney Community Center, Hazelwood, are now adult supportive daycare programs. So those are the three centers we occupy and utilize. And we also have the administrative office at 181 Hillman Street, where we disseminate our newsletters from, schedule medical, personal, shopping, transportation, schedule shine appointments, and then anything else an older adult would need assistance with.
And so is that considered also in that space? Do you also have a center there as well?
We have an outreach office where an outreach worker will assist an older adult with shine questions, which correlates usually with Medicare, Part A, B, C, or D. And that's where our dispatcher and office assistant will schedule transportation services, yes.
And I would imagine the challenge that you have when we think of the senior population, there are different types of seniors, therefore there are different needs. There is also what we like to think of as the savvy senior. I know in the past there were dance classes where you mentioned Zumba, so that is probably geared more towards the senior that tends to be more active. And then you have the senior that might be homebound and requires different types of services. So will you talk about some of your most popular services for the different types of seniors that I've identified?
Sure, like as you said, the older active adult, a lot of our older adults, especially the baby boomers, in the 2020 census were counted. A lot of them are still active in the community, whether it's volunteering or still working full or part-time jobs. So those that demographic of older adults really utilizes the senior center, so Buttonwood. They come in, they want to meet up with a friend, take a Zumba class, chair yoga, go in, get their blood pressure read during a blood pressure clinic, which we hold monthly, and other activities. We really have tailored our senior center schedule for the more active adult, those who are, whether they get to the center via bus or drive themselves, they're able just to come in, and if they want to stay, they're more than welcome to stay, have lunch from Coastline, and just participate in the day. But we see a lot of older adults coming in for the activity that they love and they choose. When I first started 11 years ago, a lot of the older adults would kind of congregate there for the day, and we still have a few of those, but a lot more in and out. They come in for what they want. And a lot of them enjoy our evening activities too, so those are really popular at Buttonwood. And as you said, for the adults that need a little more assistance, whether it's physical or with some cognitive decline, we have the adult supportive day programs. And our Brooklawn Center is tailored more so to the older adult needing a little more physical assistance, and is starting to show some sort of cognitive decline, early onset dementia. So those folks will attend Brooklawn, and still the active seniors, those who are probably presented with 1 or 2 symptoms of early onset dementia, will attend the South End location, the Rosemary Tierney Community Center. And for the supportive day programs, we provide round-trip transportation. So there's constant supervision, and the loved one will know that the family member is being cared for in a warm and safe environment.
So on transportation, there is transportation that's provided for medical appointments?
Yes.
Correct? And is this transportation still available for out of the city? I think at one time there were trips to Boston to some of the hospitals. Is that still available?
So anyone who needs a local medical transportation or personnel to run an errand nearby, or shopping transportation, we provide that from the COA. Boston transportation, we usually refer them to CERTA. They still offer that weekly Tuesday transportation service to Boston.
Which is great, because who wants to drive to Boston?
Exactly.
Very few people do. So that's great. And what is the procedure for the shopping or even for the medical? When do they need to call? And I'm sure all of this information is on your website.
Yes. It's on our website, and it's also on the Young and the Rest of Us newsletter, and also in the Senior Scope. But they would call the COA main number, 508-991-6250, and they would speak with Rudy. And she would schedule medical transportation. There is a $10 fee, but that's round trip. So if you are a New Bedford senior and you're looking for medical transportation to Hawthorne, South Coast, or on Allen Street, Hawthorne Street, wherever, as long as it's in a neighboring town, we would be able to assist you.
What a great deal that is, because, and I know you are mindful of the fact that there are a lot of seniors that are alone, that do not have family members, or family members are working. So I know that's always been a very popular offering. Another growing need is, we live in an age that is very highly technical. And to be a senior and not be able to use a computer is a form of isolation as we just become more and more technical. Are there any classes currently for adults to learn how to navigate the computer?
That's a great question. We have a strong working relationship with Coastline Elderly Services. That's our local ASAP. And recently they provided at Hillman Street a computer lab, which was vacant. So they gave us 12 refurbished laptops through an MBI grant that they received. And along with that, they provide an instructor 3 days a week on a monthly basis. And it's like, there's a beginner's 101, intermediate class, and then an advanced class. So the instructor will, really tailor the syllabus to the needs of the older adults, so you don't really feel out of the loop. So we have a lot of folks utilizing that. Also, I applied for a grant from the Massachusetts Councils on Aging, and we received $20,000. And within that grant, I did budget to have 3 workstations out of the Buttonwood Senior Center. So if anyone wanted to print out the 1099 from Social Security or needed anything, they could go in there, ask the coordinator to help them out, and we could print it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we'll offer one-to-one instructional classes at Buttonwood as well.
And with learning the usage of computers, also there needs to be an education, and I know there is a program in the Department of Community Services on scams, because that's the other downside of seniors and computers, because so often they are victims of scams. So certainly you have identified how you are adapting to the changing needs of seniors. Are there any other programs or special needs that what's on your wish list of other things that you would like to see happen?
I think we want to branch out, as you said, helping older adults avoid those scams. We'll have the DA's office come in. They will send a representative to just inform seniors of certain things to look out for. Just really focusing on health and wellness, and really helping the older adult age in place. And when I say age in place, I mean offering resources, services to help the older adult stay in their community, stay connected to their loved ones, with their peers, but to stay within their home. And, you know, we all want to be in our home. That's our safe place. That's when we're happiest. So, but we also want to socialize and avoid that isolation and not fall into a depression. And I think since COVID, we're just focusing on everyone's mental well-being, physical, but also the mental, and how there's a correlation with, you know, dementia and depression, and just keeping people alert and keeping them socialized and having a purpose and something to look forward to. So that's always what we're geared towards. That's our ultimate goal.
There's actually a study on the blue zones, and I'm sure you're aware of this, and the blue zones are areas where they have adults, the largest amount of centurions. And what the study shows is that their lifestyle, which much of it is based around socialization and good food and just gathering and being with people. And so that is a very important component around aging, as you identified, in Aging Well.
And if I could just add to that, it was a great tie-in. Our most popular event at Buttonwood since being back there is the Senior Supper Program. And you just encompass the three major things: food, friendship, and then we offer music. So just being around your peers, your friends, you know how good it is when you meet up with a friend and then you get home, you realize what a great time. Older adults are really enjoying this program. They offer in the other COAs nearby, so we made sure when we focused on reopening Buttonwood, I didn't want to schedule it on the same days that our neighboring COAs were. That way older adults will have a place to go every Tuesday evening. So ours is held every fourth Tuesday from 4 to 6, and they are loving that.
And I think you have a set number of slots for that, and you're always usually at capacity. Do you have waiting lists, or how does one get to participate in that?
They can call the Buttonwood Senior Center at 508-991-6170. And like tonight, we have the Senior Supper Program, so we already sold the tickets, and then we'll sell the tickets for next month's event. So tonight we have 70 older adults, seniors attending this event.
That's a great amount.
Yeah.
That's a great amount.
So we have a meal catered from D&D Catering, and then we'll have a local guitarist who will play the acoustic guitar and sing for an hour too.
That sounds like something that I might even enjoy.
Yeah, please do.
So also you have on the table the newsletter, which is another activity that the council, and I see these newsletters all around the city, and it's really filled with a lot of your program, but a lot of other information pertinent to the senior population. And that is monthly, correct?
Yes, I work on it usually the month before, midway, and kind of project the upcoming month. So we have in the newsletter, of course, the ads, but we have the Buttonwood calendar, which you can see we've added many more activities, and we tried to fill the schedule where there's no gap in time to each demographic. So older adults that like exercise will find an exercise program every day. Those who just really want to come in and socialize, there's bingo, there's also some special events. And we're really focusing on adding educational presentations. So just helping older adults stay active, stay aware, and just live as healthy in their home as possible.
So in saying that, Pam, if there are agencies that are watching today and they want to bring their resources to the population you serve, would they just call you to schedule a presentation?
Yes.
At one of your centers, at the Buttonwood Center, for example?
They can call Buttonwood, or they could call me directly at 508-991-6251 and speak to me directly, and then I'll just disseminate the information to the appropriate site.
That's great to know.
I did want to add, Marci, with the newsletter, I just wanted to let folks know to always look under the desk of the editors. Like you stated, we always have additional information. I did put a little blurb in there about open enrollment, how it started October 15th to December 7th. So if people are questioning their Part D plan, which is the drug plan, and want to make sure that the prescriptions that they take will still be covered going into 2025, they should really call the main line, which is 508-991-6250, and we could schedule an appointment with a Shine counselor.
And that's great, because I think there are always questions around Medicaid and what's covered, what's not covered, so you do have people there that can always answer those questions. And this newsletter, I know that some of our team of neighborhood liaisons, we take that to neighborhood meetings, but one could also pick it up at the center. I believe it's usually on the front desk when you come into the Council on Aging, the administrative office at Hillman Street. Is this also online?
It is. It's under the COA tab on the city's website. And also, too, if someone doesn't have access to a computer or to a phone and they would like one mailed to them, they could always call the main line and we would mail it out.
That's great.
We've done that.
That's great. So quite a few years ago, maybe about 5 years ago, I went on a trip through the Senior Travel Club to Canada, and it was amazing. It was reasonable. It was well planned out. Is that still available, the Senior Travel Club?
So our senior travel program is a little different to what it was then, pre-COVID. But right now, we're working with Best of Times Travel, and you will find an insert in our newsletter promoting an upcoming day trip. I think this year we focus mainly on day trips. I know in 2025 you will see a cruise to, I believe, Bermuda or Bahamas for around $1,300. So folks, if they want to check Buttonwood, I believe the flyer is on the bulletin board, and it'll also be on not October's newsletter, but in November we're going to promote that.
So that is definite, because you're already, I definitely would be interested in that.
Yeah, so we have a lot of day trips, and like you said, a couple nights away too. I believe the cruise is maybe 5 days, 4 nights. Yeah, it's not too long, but long enough to feel like you have a vacation and you get away. And
right,
you can rest.
And it's so safe. You're in a group with people that you know, or it may be an opportunity for you to meet some new travel buddies as well. So that's yet another great resource. So how, as we have a large senior population within the city of New Bedford, and what are you seeing with attendance within the centers?
Folks are happy to be back at Buttonwood. Buttonwood has always been their senior center. It resonates with them, so they're happy to be back. We see an increase with just community, just being together. So like I said, the senior supper is popular. We're looking to add more. I think now that we're at one center, we could really prioritize. With that grant that I discussed, the computer lab too, in the back in the newsletter, you'll see we're going to create that middle room at Buttonwood into a game room. So we purchased.
That's something new.
Yeah, so for the adults who like to, play games. We have a billiards table, so we have an active billiards group. But now we're going to have air hockey, foosball, the basketball, two-sided, where people could take turns shooting basketball.
And you're moving. You're using those
ambulating.
arms. Yes.
And skee ball. And cornhole too, which is really popular now. So we're just trying to make the center happy, make it fun, and like you said, you're moving, you're enjoying yourself, you're conversing with friends, and just trying to bring as much as possible there. That way people have something to look forward to.
Well, my dad passed at 91, but my dad spent every day at the senior center. In fact, I don't think you had a chance to meet my dad. I think you came on board after he passed, but he would also lead music. He had an adult chorus, and he would daily, play his instruments and sing, and that was such a central focus of his life. He loved his friends and his time at the senior center, and one of the biggest activities was bingo. Is bingo still as popular as it was?
Not since pre-COVID. We still have a loyal group of bingo players, and through Community Development Block Grant, we were funded to purchase a new bingo machine. So I'm in the process of working with them and getting that at Buttonwood. So we do provide Twilight Bingo, which is a nightly bingo event every fourth Friday, I believe, third or fourth Friday of the month. So that's a popular event. So we still have bingo. Is it as strong as it once was? No, but we're looking to build that up again. I think since COVID, a lot of the community bingos at churches unfortunately didn't survive.
And and I love that you're following the trends and basically giving people what it is that they're responding to or wanting to see.
I take the time at any large event and even smaller events to just receive feedback or just call me, but I will speak before an event and just see what is it that you want to see, and then they'll give me their input, and then that's what we try to implement, is really coming directly from the older adults who are there daily or who attend weekly and are active, and what their friends would like to see. So that's our main focus, is bringing what they want.
And I'm sure you must be connected to a network of regional council on agents where information is being shared.
Yeah, it's a collaborative effort. Yeah, and we work together and we share resources or ideas, and we all have the same mission, is just to help the older adult age employees and to thrive in their community.
So that's wonderful that Buttonwood is up and running and doing so well. What's going on with Social Day?
So Social Day is our main focus. With the reorganizational change that we implemented going back to Brookline and the Rosemary Tierney Center, we were able to specialize to two different demographics of older adults. The Brookline Community Center, the north location, is geared towards the older adult who needs a little more physical help, who's showing more of a cognitive decline, early onset dementia, or maybe progressively milder form of dementia. The staff there are trained to work with those individuals. They are CPR, AED, first aid certified at both locations. And then the older adult that needs a little structure and organization, but is still pretty active and is not really showing any decline or just starting to, they would attend the Rosemary S. Tierney Community Center. So,
and that's at Hazelwood.
Yeah, so any adult or caregiver that needs respite for their loved one, or anyone in the community that they know, they can refer them to us, and we could just start that admissions process and just go over the specifics. It is listed in the newsletter, but it is specialized care with a Karen and exceptional care team.
Great, that's wonderful, and we'll also be sure that we get this on the screen as well. You're just doing so much, it seems like, and I know you had been working within the department for a number of years as well. But you're so kind, Pam, and
thank you.
you're doing such great work there.
Thank you. It means a
for the
lot.
city. So thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
Sharing what's new, and feel free to come on anytime.
Thank you.
And let us know what's going on with the Council on Agents.
And thank you, Marci, for being such a strong advocate in the community.
Absolutely.
So I thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Marci, for everything.
And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed our programming today. And if you're a savvy senior and you're looking for some fun activity, go to the Buttonwood Senior Center and find out all that's new there. Thank you for watching today, and we will see you next time on Neighborhood Update.
Did you know that you can watch any of New Bedford Cable Network shows anytime, anywhere on all of your mobile devices? How, you may ask? Just log on to nbcablenetwork.com and bam! You have all 3 channels at your fingertips: public, educational, and government access. Here, you can view our program schedules, watch our channel's live broadcasts, or search for a particular program in our vast library of shows. Last year alone, New Bedford Cable Network produced over 500 shows, and nearly all of them are available online at nbcablenetwork.com. Not only can you stay up to date with what's happening in your local government and schools, but also dive into some of New Bedford Cable Network's original award-winning programs. So check us out at nbcablenetwork.com.
What if you could feel in control of your retirement in just a few clicks? At aceyourretirement.org, you can. Start with a free 3-minute chat with Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach. Just answer some simple questions like, how do you feel about your ability to save for retirement? Or in how many years do you want to retire? To get free action items customized just for you. Get your retirement back on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Got a new house.
I think I finally found a place that I call home.